How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. I often advocate not buying anything. Now today I'm going to show you how not to buy a certain item. The very popular item is the digital pressure cooker. Now I'm not going to name that very item because this video actually destroys your need to buy that item. Now let's talk about what's so good about this item. It's because you can put all kinds of meat products in it. The pressure cooker allows you to cook things much faster than normal, but with a little bit of planning, you can actually cook the same item with longer time, of course, and yet you can still save a lot more energy. Now the way to do this is not very new, but I came upon this idea of trying to conserve energy. If you look up thermal cookers, it's basically where you have a pot of stuff, you heat it up until boiling, you make sure all the stuff is heated through, then you put it inside some container that's insulated so that it will retain the heat. Now this insulation can be done in various ways. Sometimes they have a second wall container. You have one container, you put it in there and it keeps the heat like that. There's other ones where it's essentially a blanket designed for a pot and you put the pot inside and it'll retain heat that way. Now all those things are not quite mainstream, and that little blanket thing was kind of targeted for third world countries because they don't have all that much electricity to spend. They need to build a fire to heat up that thing, and maybe they don't want to use all that much firewood, and then they heat it up, they put it inside this blanket thing, and then they cook the stuff rest of the way. Now these thermal insulators can range anywhere from $60 to $150 each, and I thought, well, this is a little bit too expensive. Maybe I can kind of fudge it and do my own. Now I thought about wrapping your own blanket around your pot, but this is gonna get your blanket dirty. That means you need to, dedicate one whole blanket just for wrapping your pot. The basic idea is this: you put whatever you want to cook in an oven-safe pot, you bring it to a boil, turn off the heat, then in your oven you preheat it to 350 degrees, and then you stick that whole pot in there, turn off the oven. Then you wait for whatever amount of time it takes to cook that thing. For example, vegetables, you might just wait 1 hour. For meat, you just wait 3 or 4 hours and it will get cooked through and it will be very tender. Now let's talk about how you save money here. Basically, you turn on the heat for such a short amount of time, only needed in order to heat that thing up, and it can retain its own heat. The rest of the time is money saved because you're no longer turning on your heat anymore. Now, why do you want to stick it in the oven? It's basically one huge insulator that you don't have to buy, that you already have. So you don't need to go on Amazon, buy some insulator pot, double insulated pot for $60, $100 or something. You already have an insulator pot, a really big one, which is your oven. So why do you need to preheat it? Because if you just normally stick your pot in there, it's going to lose heat because the heat inside your oven is going to be room temperature and all that heat is going to seep out of your pot. But if you preheat your oven is going to retain that heat, and then all that heat is going to seep into your pot instead. So with this method, you can go cook your vegetables, go cook your meat or whatever, and you can kind of use it like a crock pot. You just heat up your stuff to boiling, shove it in a preheated oven, and turn everything off, and basically you can go shopping or whatever for a couple hours. You don't have to worry that things are being on, things are being boiled, and then maybe it might cause a fire or something. You can leave, you come back, and everything is done. Now this is similar to a crock pot, but crock pot will lose heat. A pressure cooker cooks things faster, yes, but you have to plug it in and it uses more energy because it also loses heat. So now let me just show you an example of what I do with my vegetables. Here we have 4 bunches of radishes. This cost me $2. And yes, I do eat the leaves of the radishes. They're a little bit bitter, but I can handle it. I just feel like you can't eat everything, so I do. I used to cut these radishes in half, but I found that it takes too much work. So I just basically pull off all the leaves and stuff. So this is like a really, really lazy way to cook vegetables. And I recommend to cook way more vegetables than you need, because when you cook it and it's all ready to eat, you reheat it, you're gonna end up eating more vegetables. I cook pretty plainly, so I have a pot over here and I add maybe a 1/4 inch of water, and then you dump in all your vegetables. Now this method is actually great because if you time it right, you only need to cook for about 5 minutes, and then you can leave everything alone, come back, and everything would be still hot and ready to eat. Now this is what you want. It comes to a fast boil, turn off the heat. Then you take this, and then you just stick this whole thing in the oven. Now you just turn off the heat to everything. You can go shopping or whatever, come back in an hour. Okay, you can see that the heat is off. This thing you can kind of touch and it's pretty hot. Even if I take the biggest one, you can see I can still cut through it. Let me taste it to see, because it's a little white over here. No, it's still cooked. So about an hour should do it for vegetables, and for meat that is really tough, you can cook it for about 3 hours. So thanks for watching this video and learning how to replace your crock pot or pressure cooker. If you're interested in supporting this channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook, and if you don't like this service or this subscription, you can cancel it before the subscription expires. You can still keep this book for free. I also have a Patreon over here where you can contact me directly regarding financial matters if you don't want to post all this stuff public in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over here and click that bell icon next to that subscribe button so that you get a new notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching.